Good morning. It's great to see you. Even if it's the middle of your night or the evening or whatever time it is, it's lovely to see you here. Welcome, welcome. It's windy, blowy, so we're inside with the rocks, and that is never a bad thing. Look, we got quartz today. This is one of the first rocks I ever bought. It's not the first rock I ever bought, but it's, I don't know, number 2 or number 3. And I love it because it's got this beautiful symmetrical configuration. Look at that. And it's so optical, This is in the days when I was still sort of unaware of the wonders of fugly crystals, the ones that are unusual and strange and not perfect. But here it is. It's got a lot of 3 in a row. There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 1, 2, 3. And it's all just really lovely, and I love that, It's just beautiful. Very shiny, pretty perfect. Good morning, good morning. See little faces popping up. It's lovely to have you join us. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Linda. So, we're doing rocks today. And speaking of fugly, which for the uninitiated means funny and ugly. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Jim. This is potentially, well, some would say this is a fugly crystal, but I love it. It is quartz, of course. But look, it's got all these wonderful etchings on the outside. First day back to school for the grandson. Oh, yeah, of course. It's all happening for you people. Interesting times is all I'm going to say. So look, it's got these etchings. And this one, you can see it's pretty clear. You can see right through it. And it's also got, these red markings, which is probably a bit of hematite. There you go. You can see it better. It's just wonderfully etched on the outside. Bonnie, good morning. Good morning, Wilmington. And so, there it is. And these valleys, good morning, Amanda. These valleys they've happened because this quartz has grown in the presence of something that has then dissolved away. And I have another crystal with amazing etchings on the surface. And because of the shape of the etchings, which are not present on this one, actually they are, but they're harder to see, it's apparent that other crystal grew in the presence of native gold. Because the only way you get the shapes, the impressions that were left in the surface of the stone is from native gold. Took me ages to figure it out. Oh, I don't know, Amanda. I don't know where this one grew, but it's fabulous. And then something very acidic, a very acidic solution came along and dissolved the gold out. Hi, Pearl! And you're left with these gaps. So I don't know whether that means this crystal also grew in the presence of native gold. But it's fabulous anyway, and that's the main thing I wanted to share it with you. I just love these shapes. So there you go. Elizabeth, good morning. It's great to have you all joining in with us here. Today we are talking about self-love. And it's a thing which, it gets, like anything with the love word in it, gets all mixed up and scrambled. And it's true, there's nothing wrong with going and getting a massage or having a bath, looking after yourself, being kind to yourself. Those are all forms of self-love. The kind of self-love that I want to talk about today, there were a number of your comments and thoughts that came to me yesterday from our conversation, and it was really all about the process of evolution and how do you become this amazing person, And also, and what it made me think of was, well, really, when you do this, you end up being in love with yourself. And those words, that person's in love with themselves, it's like, it gets hooked up with the concept of being arrogant or self-absorbed or, self-obsessed. But in fact, it's really not so. So I want to talk about this. And this is something that I did not understand. I had no clue about this until I learned about it from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Just let's get that clear. Something I learned from him. And I heard him say it, early on in my journey about the fact that real self-love is what happens when you keep overcoming yourself. when there's some aspect of yourself that you have continually overcome to the point that you've really become more of the person that you want to be and less of the person that's falling over that old shit, and what you develop in yourself as you do that is a kind of satisfaction and self-confidence and respect for you and a real internal resilience, because you just know that if that stuff comes up again, you can deal with it. And it's like, oh my God, I can do this. I really can handle this. Case in point. Case in point. Some of you will remember that, I don't know how long it was ago. It happens from time to time. Notice how I say that. I think I went to, something happened. My body tried to do a panic attack. And I've never had a big deal with panic, okay? But every now and then I have a little turn, and I have learned how to self-regulate myself out of that. I recognise it happening, that I know what this is. I did what I've learned to do because I've become powerful. I can actually take my autonomic nervous system by the shoulder and say, no, you're not going off in that direction. We're doing this instead. Bring it into coherence and the whole thing stops. And it happened again, not last night, the night before. It happened again. I just thought, oh, come on, this is old. No, we're not doing this. Because I've got some really deep stuff shifting at the moment, and it is about fear and panic and anxiety, but I'm not feeling it, right? But this is energy that's been stuck in my body. Because that happens. And being able to feel my body go into that state and say, no, we're not doing that. I'm not that person anymore. Body is still trying to play out the old pattern, the old addictions, the old self, but I'm not interested in that. And more than not wanting to have that experience, I know how to stop it. I know how to choose a different experience at will. And I absolutely love the fact that I can do that. Like, yay me! And nobody can change. Oh, you're back on the bridge, Julie. Oh my God, your account's been hacked. How interesting. It's an opportunity for a new start. You might as well bless it. It's happened. Oh, honey, it's great to have you back. So to love myself this much because I know how to overcome fear now. I actually do. I can't lose that. I cannot lose that. I cannot lose the fact that I can look back at who I was, and I felt so fearful and so frustrated and everything else about money. You know, we've talked about that. And I just am not that person anymore. It's just not me. And I appreciate who I used to be because that me got me to this me. But I really love who I'm becoming because I just love who I'm becoming. And I'm more becoming who I want to become every day, you know, because this is an ongoing process. And I just love the fact that I now have built this ability in myself to not only face up to my darkest and most difficult aspects that I didn't have the tools to deal with before, but really to overcome them, to change them, to change me, to change my life. And it means that changing my life, I'm doing it from this space of wholeness and wellness and feeling good in me. And when I don't feel whole and well and good in me, I know what to do about it. And so every time I overcome the me that isn't like that, I get to fall in love with who I'm choosing to be more in the present moment, but also that me that I'm falling in love with and getting accustomed to being and knowing more and more how I think and feel and behave as that person is the me in the future who is absolutely healthy and absolutely wealthy and totally changing the world, because that's what I desperately want. Not desperate. This is what owns me. Like I mentioned yesterday, there is a body of work that is going to come through me. That body of work owns me. It is not mine. I'm simply a face. I'm simply a voice. My job is to get out of the way. and facilitate this process of what wants to come through me. I know it. I feel it. And to be that connected to my purpose, to my future, and every day to be creating more and more of this person and less and less of who I used to be is just, I don't know, it's beyond words. What do I say? I'm just so grateful for that experience. I'm so grateful to be loosing off the old chains of my past and becoming somebody else. And it's not about becoming somebody, it's not about rejecting who I've been. It's about appreciating who I've been, but being able to change that and overcome that. Good morning, Jen. Lovely to see you. So when we face ourselves, when you catch yourself mulling over something that was upsetting, hang on. What message, Maddie Schaefer, am I giving to myself today? Oh, I'm pondering something sad. So I am sending sad chemistry to my cells. And if I keep doing that, I'm going to condition my cells into being accustomed to feeling sad. And after a while, they're going to want to feel sad because I've conditioned them that way. So hang on, if that's a message I'm sending to my cells, Andrew, good morning, beautiful being, then what message do I want to send to my cells instead? This sad aspect of me, this angry aspect of me, this sick aspect of me, this very lackful aspect of me, this very scared and anxious or depressed or despondent or whatever it is aspect of me. This is the message I'm sending to my cells. Oh, shit, some of these messages I've been sending for a long fucking time. Just today, can I find a way to overcome some aspect of that self? Okay, well, that must mean that I have to have some idea about who I want to be instead. And, you know, I used to talk about this a lot. My language has changed, but it's the same process. There is a flip-flop. We know who we want to be. And if you don't know who you want to be, that is your first job, is to actually work out some little part of how you want to be in your future life, right? Because many of us are so busy saying, I don't like this, I don't want to be that, I feel awful, blah, 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 blah. That's what your focus is on. It's how miserable you are. Yeah, so you're busy being miserable. But what do you actually want? And when you think, oh, I want a house, I want to be well or whatever, how are you going to feel when you have it? Because everything that we think we want because of the emotional payoff. I know, it's potent. And literally, we're not just sending energetic messages to the cells, but actually that's even more powerful than the chemistry. We are absolutely sending chemical messages to our cells with every single freaking thought. If the thought has an emotional charge, it fires, you get neurotransmitters, you get neuropeptides, they talk to your hormonal centers, boom, you have an emotion, and it's chemistry in your body. It's really powerful. So if that is the process that I've been doing for however long, what process do I want to be doing instead? I've got to make a new neural connection, and if I've been doing misery for 37 years, it's going to be really hard, it's going to feel really wrong to do something else. But actually, just starting with, well, what do I actually want to feel? What is one thought that, you know, when I'm thinking, oh, that was sad, that was upsetting, you know, and it reminded me of this and it reminded me of that, because it's what the brain does. It associates things together. But when you start to see yourself going into that loop of associating more and more and more negative whatever it is together, what is the one thought that you're going to say, hang on a minute, I want to fire this thought instead because I want to have a different feeling? What thought do you want to have? Maybe it's, I can let go of that. I choose to let go of that. I'm not that person anymore. I am somebody who doesn't need this anymore. I am choosing, I don't know. But you have to actually know what you want to be thinking and how you want to be feeling, even if the very thought of what you want to be thinking and how you want to be feeling inspires in you, oh, are you so full of shit? That's never going to be you. I had the realization, oh, awesome. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course you didn't wallow in it, Linda. You're way past that. See, we do have these things come to us and they bring us insights. But the insight is no use if you just keep on replaying it anyway. It's like, oh, well, there's this is the reason for blah. And it's my really good reason for staying like this. No, the insight I usually find, just like you did, Linda, the insight comes when we move out of it. It's like, oh, that's what it was about. I'm done with that now. Yay me! So you have to choose what thoughts do you want to not fire and not wire. I am quoting my inspiration now. And what thoughts and feelings do you want to fire? What thoughts do you want to fire and what feelings do you want to have? And you have to get really clear about that. And so, like I say, sometimes the very thought of thinking and feeling something different, your body will immediately say to you, you are insane. You've got to be joking to think that you can ever feel happy, truly, deeply happy. Are you mad? You've been trying to feel happy for such a long time. Forget it. Don't bother. You'll never change. It's impossible. All that stuff. Been there, done that, know what it's like. It takes will to listen to all of that, realise that it's programs and it's chemistry and it's not you. Quite right, Elizabeth. It's not you. My body is not me. I am where I choose to put my intention. Mind is the brain in action. I am consciousness. I think a thought. I create a level of mind. And that mind then creates a chemistry of feeling. My body is the mind. My body is my unconscious mind. 95% of everything in my mind is in my body, and it's on 95% it's unconscious. So to change my mind, which consciousness operates the brain, the mind is the brain in action. Those are Joe's words, and I love them because it really helps me work out the consciousness, brain, mind. What's the difference? Consciousness is what I really am. I fire a thought, I create mind, both here and in my body. If I want to change my mind, I have to, as consciousness, start watching, observing, noticing what I've been thinking and feeling. And as consciousness, I have to step out of that program, like stepping outside of the matrix, and say, okay, I'm going to practice feeling love, joy, peace, and happiness. I can't say I want them, because as soon as I want them, I don't have them. I want them. It's a really powerful distinction to me. I know you get it, Jim. And if, for me, to feel love, to feel joy, which was just, what? To feel, happiness is like, this is a foreign planet. I don't know what that feels like. So, okay, well, I don't know what that feels like, but let me just imagine one corner of it, and I will practice that. I will start somewhere. And I will choose exactly when I notice myself getting into that old way of being. Okay, I'm doing it again. Well, hey, I noticed. Fantastic. I love you, Maddie, because you noticed. I caught myself the other day going off into a lackful, time-pressured frustration. Instantly. It's like, hang on a minute. You are not in a hurry. What the hell are you doing? Whoa. And I caught myself and I slowed down. Everything was fine. It's just automatic. It's hardwired. I noticed it. Celebrating me. See, this is where the self-love comes in. When you start to notice, when you get aware, when you self-regulate, when you manage, when you pay attention, you think, hang on a minute, whoa, turn the ship around. And when you do that over and over, you start to really respect and love yourself. And you just don't feel shitty about yourself, even when you're just working through stuff. Really powerful things can come up. They do. But you know that you're going to be able to manage them. It gets easier with practice. It's challenging to start with. It gets easier with practice. And anybody who's been in this journey for a while will tell you that. It gets easier with practice. Because the first time you overcome something that's significant in your life, you think, I did it! It's like the next time, you remember that you did it. You think, okay, this is still scary, but I did it before. Maybe I can do it again. And, you develop this internal resilience, and with that resilience comes a kind of self-love that I cannot describe. I can only say it's absolutely worth every choice. Yeah, absolutely. Even content. Yeah, it does. It's rebellious because the reason why it feels like that is because your body is saying, oi, I'm used to the hormones of feeling bad. I'm used to that. I'm used to firing those thoughts. I'm used to that physical sensation. You want me to go somewhere different. Oh, no. The unknown is scary and dangerous. That's why it seems rebellious, and that's why your brain and your body will kick up all this stink about it. That's what's going on. If you can observe that and understand that's what's going on and that's not you, that's your first step to actually thinking, okay, content is good, peace is good, ease is good. Ease is a word that I worked with for a long time because I couldn't emotionally embrace anything else. But ease I could handle. So, okay, I'm just going to ease. Just going to move towards ease. I'm going to stop doing things that are really hard, Ease is good. If you can't, feeling good, feeling content, feeling happy is way beyond you, just go for a little ease. It grows. Took me a long time with that one because this is before I connected with Joe Dispenza's work and really got in the tally border. But that's what you can do. Just divide and conquer. Make it small because it's very easy to think, oh my God, all I can do is line myself up with ease. But ease is a million miles away from feeling miserable. We just think, oh God, I can't line myself up with happiness. What's wrong with me? Whatever step up the emotional scale you can make it good. Because when you get better at that, then you're going to be able to go up another step. Incremental change. We have this idea pushed at us, buy this lipstick, put it on, you'll be an instant sex kitten. Wear this cologne and every woman in the world will want you. Now. No. Step by step by step by step. And that's how you learn to love yourself, and that's how you create change in your life. And it's awesome. I'm going to be back in 3.5 hours to give you the update on our beautiful Sang Marie Gomez, who is having his own journey in the Gambia. If you can join us, be lovely to see you. Otherwise, big love. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you. Bye-bye.